The story of Colonel Sanders, founder of the Kentucky Fried Chicken, is a popular one. At age 65, he was going about the United States peddling his recipe for one of the best fried chickens ever. And yet, no restaurant was willing to accept his recipe to start a business with him. According to his story, he traveled from state to state and failed 1,009 times before he finally got his chance. Today, Colonel Sanders' Kentucky Fried Chicken is well known the world over. Dreams may take a long time to be achieved, but the man who decides to persist will eventually achieve his dream. Colonel Sanders has this interesting lesson for young people who are afraid to start. Most people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. The path to achieving your dream will never begin at the top. If you had to start at the top, you really do not have a dream to achieve. No big dream was ever achieved starting from the top. Somehow, all dream achievers usually start from the bottom. Colonel Sanders' advice for young people who are reluctant to start is that most people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. It is never too late to start. In Chicken Soup for the Soul, Mark Hansen and Jack Canfield told the story of Mrs. Annie Johnson of Arkansas. In 1903, Mrs. Annie found herself with two toddling sons, very little money, and a slight ability to read and add simple numbers. Worse still, she carried the burden of a disastrous marriage and the fact that she was a Negro. She left her husband and was left broke. According to her, she looked up the road she was going and back the way she had come. Since she wasn't satisfied, she decided to step off the road and cut herself a new path. She wasn't a fancy cook, but she could mix groceries well enough to scare hunger away from a starving man. The first day, she worked into the night, making meat pies and frying hams. The next morning, she walked 5 miles to the cutting gin, where lay workers worked. Soon as they smelt her meat pie and hams, they came to her. She sold her meat pie and hams to factory workers at the town's cutting gin and lumber mill, where both factories are miles apart. She did this constantly until she became widely known there and succeeded just showing up to sell meat pie and hams. She could have been ashamed of herself and her situation. She could have been ashamed of pushing her cart to those factories each morning to sell her wares. She could have looked for a more sophisticated job or business, so she would look posh and sleek. But she didn't. Instead, she understood her impoverished situation, swallowed her pride, and did what she could to get her life back together. It is never too late to start working on your dream. In fact, because you are young, you have no excuse not to start on your dream. I remember when I was struggling to be proactive, because I had grown to never learn to take responsibility for my life. I thought I would have to live with that for the rest of my life. Without even thinking about changing, I started little by little to push myself to work hard. I did more than I usually do, even when it was not convenient. Before I knew it, I was achieving more than I ever thought I could achieve. I wrote books I never knew I could write, and I met clients I never imagined I would meet. There's a path between starting and succeeding. When you get started on your dream, what you need to achieve that dream will find you. Colonel Sanders' advice for young people who are reluctant to start is, most people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. Start first, resources later. I learned the simple way that when you start, what you need will eventually come to you. When most young people struggle to start because they feel they do not have all they need, I had always been motivated by the fear of laziness to never even wait to think about what I don't have. I just simply start anyway. If I fail, I fail. But I get started. And this is the interesting lesson I have discovered, that when you get started, somehow the entire universe comes together to give you all you need to continue your dream. In the Christian faith, this is what we call faith. Faith in this regard is taking action even when you are unsure of what's ahead, but you know somehow you will make it through. When you take a leap of faith to start to push your dream, whatever it is, somehow Providence starts to open doors so all you need starts to come to you. I remember when I was planning to go to the university. My parents weren't planning to send me there or even pay my tuition. I didn't care anyway. After hoping and wishing they would change their mind, and they did, I got the entrance form myself and went to write the examination. At this time, I didn't know how I was going to pay my tuition fees. Neither was I expecting my parents to help. But anyways, as soon as the result was out and I passed my exams, my parents supported. I soon had all the resources I need to start and complete my university education. When you start, what you need will come to you. Colonel Sanders says, most people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. It's not going to be easy. I know countless people who could have succeeded but didn't. Most young people will never succeed because of their pride. They want to have trendy jobs so they can be able to boast to their friends they have a good job. They don't want to do dishes in some restaurants to earn their keep. They don't want to do janitorial jobs to finance their business dream. They don't want to work odd jobs to achieve their dreams. Those who refuse to do ugly things today to get rich will eventually do ugly things tomorrow while they remain poor. If you refuse to do the odd jobs today to support your dream, you will do the odd jobs tomorrow while you're dying broke. Lots of young people leave Africa for abroad because they're ashamed to do odd jobs here in Africa. Yet, they do the worst jobs any human on earth can do when they eventually get abroad. Colonel Sanders says, most young people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. If you're ashamed to start small, forget about your dream. If you're reluctant to start at the bottom, forget about your dream. If you're waiting to have all you need before you get started, forget about your dream. No one achieves anything worthwhile waiting to become the world's best. Successful people start small. They start unprepared and uncertain. Most people never start because they do not want to be seen starting at the bottom. Don't be like most people. If this video inspired you, like the video. We love you.